Mahalo and welcome to No?
Mahalo?
Mahalo and welcome. You got to mix it up every once in a while. Thank you and welcome to joining us for another episode of the Have Aloha Will Travel podcast. This is episode number 53. Kat, you were talking a little bit earlier. We've done almost 24 during COVID-19 in quarantine.
Yeah.
So it's been a heck of a ride.
That means that at this point, almost half of our podcasts have been done in quarantine. Wow, that's so weird.
And half of it, I think we started doing video around this time too. So we're coming up on a lot of different anniversaries, but a new anniversary that's starting is the day Taylon Faltas joined us as our digital media specialist. She is also the digital media specialist for Hawaiʻi Home and Remodeling. She is our new social media whiz, our new website guru. Taylon, it's great to have you on the podcast.
Yay! Yay! Thanks for having me.
How are you doing?
So Taylon, sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
Just how are you doing?
Great. Living it up. I'm based on the Big Island, Hawaiʻi Island, currently. So yeah, it's fun getting to work with everyone else is based on Oahu. So it's interesting to be able to talk to everyone, and even in like the group chats where everyone's like, oh, this place on blah 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 street's closed. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but yes.
Kat, you're gonna give us the bio, the background.
Yeah, let's give a little bit of
facts.
background. Jeez, Kevin. So Taylon joined us on March 1st, 2021, around our anniversary of our COVID, our quarantine, 1 year anniversary of our quarantine. And she hails from California. And so she's going to be responsible for a lot of the digital content that a lot of you listeners, and if you're viewing us on Facebook, will be seeing on our social media platforms. And so we're kind of easing her in right now. And one of the first things we always do with our new fresh meat is we put on the podcast.
Yeah, we scare them.
Yeah, totally. It's kind of a sick pleasure that we have. And this is Taylon's first time on a podcast. So what I want you to do is just kind of introduce yourself to everyone, to all the listeners and viewers out there. And then we'll get into more specifically, like, what do you do on Hawaiʻi Island when you're not working for us? So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Cool. Yeah. So I grew up in Santa Cruz, California. I lived there until I was like 20, 21. And then, so that was, interesting and fun. And I feel like I kind of, bounced around from beach town to beach town. So after, I moved on from Santa Cruz, I went to Santa Barbara I went to UC Santa Barbara for school, for my undergraduate degree. And that was also really fun. Another beach town. I did a lot of sailing there, both there in Santa Cruz.
Wow.
And then, my dream was always to live in Hawaii. So I have family that live here. So I was very grateful to be able to, stay with them for a bit, and then, eventually like find my place here on the Big Island. And so what I like to do around here, I would say, is I really enjoy swimming, just like kind of snorkeling around, like free diving for sure. I got more into that, over here in the warmer waters.
How long can you hold your breath for?
How long can I hold my breath?
Yeah, I did a whole story on freedivers, so I'm a little bit acclimated. I know freediving is pretty big on the Big Island, or Hawaiʻi Island.
Yeah,
they say we should call it Hawaiʻi Island.
I'm still pretty new to it. I mean, I grew up like swimming, like competitive swimming. But it's been a few years. I haven't really timed myself, I guess. I guess that's what the pros do. I just kind of like go for it, and then I'm like running out of breath. I'm like, better swim back up. But I don't know. I would say maybe I'm, again, very novice. Maybe like a minute 30.
That's still a long time.
Like, how deep do you go? Have you at least measured depth?
I think the deepest I've been able to swim down is like 40 feet.
Wow, that's really good.
That's pretty
but that's
deep.
like pushing it. That's like on a good day.
And what part of the
clear day?
What part of the Big Island do you live on? Because it's a
So I live on Kona side. So
okay.
I'm like, yeah, I live at probably like 1,200 feet elevation. So I get a really awesome view. I get to see like most of the town, and it's, you know, at night it's like all lit up and beautiful. And I'm like, wow, I didn't really realize it was this big, because it doesn't feel that big. It's, you know, it's small town, which has been really nice. I feel like, you know, my hometown it felt small, obviously, because I, you know, grew up there. So I feel like I knew everyone. But then moving to Santa Barbara, it was much bigger. And I also didn't really know that many people. So it was all new and exciting. And then moving here, it was also very new and exciting. But I feel like it's more of a close-knit community. And I really appreciate that. It's been really nice, especially, you know, during this time.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, very different, but very amazing.
Had you visited Hawaii before you made the big jump, or did you just kind of come here blind?
Oh yeah, I grew up visiting since I was like 10. I think the first time I visited, I was like 10 years old. It was mostly to Oahu. For my, you know, I tag along on my dad's work trips, and that was, yeah, I just fell in love with Hawaii, and I was like, at 10 years old, I was like, I need to move here. Obviously, I didn't really know where like my future was gonna, you know, take me, but I knew eventually like that was the goal at some point. I just fell in love with the culture and the people, and obviously, you know, the beauty of the islands. So I think you know, in my childhood, I feel like I visited here like around 10, or the Oahu, I'm on Big Island, Oahu probably 10 times.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many times did you visit the Big Island?
And not as often. I feel like I maybe only made it out here a few times. Yeah. It was mostly based on where my dad was working, you know, and that was all on Oahu, especially because like that was the where the Pro Bowl was. We visit like every January, and then
nice.
Yeah, one year for my forget which birthday it was. I feel like it was my 12th birthday or something. We went to Maui.
Oh wow!
But my birthday's in the summer, so I got to experience Hawaii in the summer for the first time, and it was even more amazing. I was like, I'm never leaving. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you moved to Hawaiʻi Island. I feel like that's that's like a dream for a lot of people. You know, a lot of people say like, oh, I want to move to Hawaii. You know, I want to make it my home. What do you have any like tips for people like, you know, moving, like what to expect, any sort of like culture shock or just anything different, you know, that people should think about?
I feel like the one thing, honestly, that was sort of a culture shock was because, you know, where I grew up, it was definitely suburban living, and I'm not saying I'm not in suburbia right now, but it's having your trash, having to take your trash to the dump was like never something I ever thought would be.
Is that what you have to do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So if you don't subscribe, like there are certain neighborhoods where you can subscribe to like the trash, I don't know, subscription.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the city subscription. So
Netflix of trash.
You can do that in my neighborhood, but it's like, I'm just, you know, it's just me, my boyfriend and I. So we just make it a weekly date to go take our trash to the dump.
Wow. You are in the country. Even I don't have to, even on the North Shore, I didn't have to deal with that.
That's been definitely a culture shock, but it's really not that big of a deal. And actually it makes you more aware of your consumption.
Yeah.
And like what you're, you know,
I can see that.
It makes you super aware. It's definitely like your own little anthropological study on, you know, how much waste you create, you know, in a week. And so I feel like I've become more conscious, especially now that I'm dealing with my own trash.
Yeah, I feel like, man, you got to go to the dump every week. That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we, of course, like that week is sometimes like excessive, but I just don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
I've never heard of this in my life. I grew up here. I've never.
Man, she's teaching us stuff that we didn't even know.
There are definitely people subscribe to, like, on my street, people subscribe to trash, but my landlords, like, I live in a Hana unit, and so my landlords don't subscribe to trash. So I'm like, oh, well, I mean, sometimes they have, anyway. Yeah, it's so basically, for example, my aunt and uncle, they live in South Kona, and, like, you can't get trash service out there at all. Like, you have to take your trash to the dump. And so they have their own little, like, unit, sort of, where they, you know, because they can't go every week because they live so far away from the transfer stations.
I guess that makes sense.
But yeah, isn't that just, that was like a big culture shock for me.
You know what? You're teaching us some stuff, I think. Kat and I are, like, over here like, what?
Yeah, I know. We're like a bunch of townies. I mean, we're just spoiled. Like, I know my trash guy.
I grew up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm spoiled too. I'm just like, dang, I have to. And then if you don't take it out in time because it's so humid, it just, So I make sure I don't do that.
We're just a bunch of Oahu, high ups. We get our trash taken out for us.
Yeah.
Your taste palette must have expanded a little bit too when coming to Hawaii. You know, we have a lot of maybe foods that aren't eaten other places. We have quite an interesting cultural cuisine.
For sure.
Do you have any faves? Anything you really love here?
Well, I actually came over here. Like, one of my favorite dishes is locomoco, like, already before moving here.
Nice.
There's this, in Santa Cruz, there's this local, like, Hawaiian grill that I've been going to since, like, high school.
Really?
And that's what introduced me pretty much to it. Like, it would be like my Wednesday after school treat. I'd go get a locomoco and a spam musubi, and so that kind of gave me a taste of the islands, you know, while I was missing it.
For sure. And now you're on the Big Island, which is like, has got the best locomocos around. People,
totally.
They love their locomocos over there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I could go for a locomoco right now.
Me too. Anytime someone mentions it, I'm like, oh, I could,
Kevin doesn't eat locomocos.
What are you talking about? That's my favorite food.
I don't know what you eat. Is it really?
Yeah, well, when I go to a diner or something, that's the only thing I'll get.
Yeah, but when you go to a diner, which your diner's closed, and when you go to a diner at 2 a.m, yes. But, like, Kevin...
At Zippy's, their locomoco's not bad. I'm not a huge fan of the chili locomoco, though. It's a little too much chili, not enough, like, other stuff going on. I love locomocos.
I haven't been to Zippy's yet, actually. I heard that's really good.
Oh, wow, you've never been to Zippy's?
No, but
it's not on the Big Island.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think there's one over in Hilo, I think. I don't know. I don't really go over to Hilo side very often.
I was going to say, Big Island's big to the point where I feel like making the trip to Hilo is kind of like a whole day.
Yeah.
Like, how long does that take driving over? Like 2 hours?
No, if you go over Saddle Road, it takes like an hour and a half. There's usually never traffic, so it's not that. I mean, it's still like you have to make a day out of it, I would think. I mean, driving an hour and a half for me is like exhausting.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks ago, my boyfriend and I, we went, around South Point.
Nice.
We stopped at South Point and we saw the fishermen and all of that, and we kept driving to Hilo.
Mm-hmm.
And we drove through like Volcanoes National Park. And that took probably over 2 hours, probably almost 3 hours, like to go around, the South Point, that's just a long way, but it's
a scenic drive for sure.
Oh yeah. It takes a long time, but it's beautiful. There's a lot to see around here. Like, I didn't really realize how big the island was.
Yeah, it's a big island.
Joked. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna get island fever over there," and I'm like, "No. Like, how often do you leave your town?"
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Especially right now. So it's like.
So speaking of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, you did go and see the new eruption. So Kilauea started erupting at the end of the year last year, and you guys were able to go down and see some of it, right? When was that? When did you go down?
So that was super cool. I didn't go right away when it when it erupted. I think it was like the 3rd week of December, just because I knew it was going to be super packed.
Yeah.
but we waited, a couple of weeks, and we made a whole day of it, and it was epic. We went to, there were 2 viewing points. So we went to the main one, and there was like a big cloud cover, and obviously you can't really predict the weather or control it. So we were like, dang, what are we gonna, like, we can't see it. Like, do we wait? So I started asking like the park rangers. I was like, so is this, how long is the cloud gonna linger? I mean, obviously elevation, like how long typically, like, I don't know why I asked that, but I was like, how long typically, like should we hang out, or is this kind of like it for the night?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, just wait like 30 minutes and should be fine. You should be able to start seeing things. And we're like, okay, cool. And there was actually another viewing point. So, instead of just like waiting around in that main lookout, we went, I can't remember. Devastation Trail. You go and park in like that little parking lot.
Yeah.
And then they had like a roadblock so you couldn't drive, but you were able to walk up to it to a different viewing point, and it was like there was no one there, and I was like, are we supposed to be here? But no, we weren't.
Okay, cool.
It was definitely permitted for people to walk, but I just don't think, I mean, it was at night. I don't think anyone felt like hiking.
Yeah, for sure.
At night.
Could you see the glow quite well?
Yeah, the glow. It was actually really cool because my phone captured the glow more in a way more than like I could see it.
Oh yeah.
Which was weird. Maybe it was just because it was on night mode, but it was beautiful. You could even hear the lava,
wow,
like crackling. It sounded like an ocean. It was pretty incredible.
Oh, that's really interesting.
So I'd never seen a lava flow before. I didn't really know what I was expecting, but it wasn't really that. It was just
yeah. Just something
it was like
out of
a
this world.
Completely new experience. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm watching like the world be born right now. Like, it was pretty epic.
You could feel the mana for sure. The energy.
Highly recommend.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So are you gonna move to Oahu, Taylor? Are you gonna come to us? Are you gonna come to the gathering place?
I feel like we're doing the job interview
all over again.
All over
like,
again.
This is like what we talked about.
Job
in our
interview. Part 3.
Like, how serious are you going to move to Oahu?
Or do you love Big Island?
I mean,
oh yeah.
That was like, I love Oahu.
Yeah.
I mean, of course I'll be there. I'm like already looking at, Craigslist postings for apartments.
For sure.
I'm saving them in my files, but yeah, of course. I'm so excited to, Oahu, I feel like is a lot different. Like you're saying, you guys are townies, like there's a lot to do. And like, I feel like the Big Island has been a really awesome experience because I'm experiencing living in like more of a rural area, even though it's not super rural.
Yeah.
But I feel like, at least at my age, like Honolulu is like, there's a lot to do. There's,
sure. It's very dense.
It's very, yeah.
It's what I would describe as pretty much the only real city in Hawaii when it comes to like, I mean, when it comes to streets completely packed with shops and blocks on blocks on blocks, and you have downtown and you have Kailua and you have Kaka'ako, you have Salt, you have multiple shopping centers within. I mean, how big is Honolulu? Like, it's not a huge city, but I think it's definitely the most densely packed city here. Are there any areas you're looking at? Like Kat and I, we look a lot on Craigslist and stuff. We love to.
I'll need your recommendations for sure.
We love to look.
I think my goal honestly is to live close to work. I think the one thing, being on the Big Island, it's on Hawaiʻi Island, it's very spread out. So you kind of have to plot out your day based on like how far you're driving.
Oh, interesting.
So like, I mean, it's probably like a 15-minute drive from where I live to like the downtown, which it's not that bad. It's just a 15-minute drive. I turn up the music. It's fine. But I'm used to living like, within 5 minutes of like my downtown area.
For sure.
And, but it is very easy to find parking here, I have to say.
Oh man.
And it's all free.
expect a change in that.
Oh, for sure.
I hope you like traffic. How's the traffic on the Big Island? Is it bad?
No. I think the worst traffic, I mean, it maybe sets you back like 10 minutes.
Oh man.
And only within like the 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. time frame. That's really not that bad.
Go to the North Shore on a Saturday and you'll experience some real Oahu traffic.
Oh yeah.
No, that's awesome though. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like from my apartment to downtown is 7 minutes. But I grew up on the North Shore of Oahu, which was a much different experience trying to get to town. Town was 45 minutes to an hour for me. So I definitely understand what you mean by like wanting to live in a more convenient place, even though you're kind of trading that like rural like beauty, and like all that kind of stuff.
There's definitely a lot of different components. I mean, on every island, there are a lot of different things that make it unique. And there are lots of different things about the Big Island that make it so unique and desirable, but there are also a lot of things about Oahu that make it so unique and desirable. And I'm actually really stoked that I get to experience both.
Yeah, definitely.
So long answer to your question. Yes, I'm moving to Oahu eventually.
Yay!
Maybe we'll be able to see you one day in physically in our office, but but we'll have to see.
I'm very excited.
No, that's awesome.
Really a long time dream of mine.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
Yes. Thanks for joining our team. Yes, Kevin. I feel like you were going to say something.
Oh, no. I was just going to ask her how she's liking the job so far. You've been kind of in the training process. What's that been like?
Yeah.
Getting a handle on our social medias.
Every time I like log off for the day, I'm like, man, this job is so fun. I'm like having even the first week where I was like packed with meetings and, meeting all these different people and learning all the different components of the role. I was just like, I'd close my computer at the end of the day and I'm like, this is so much fun. Like, this is what a job,
Keep that energy.
What was that?
Keep that energy.
Keep that energy.
Yeah, keep that.
Keep the energy alive, yeah. But I just feel like there's so much to do, like so many different components to my job. And
yeah, you've got a complicated job for sure.
Yeah. And I'm really excited to get to, speak to the community and, visitors of Hawaii. So yeah, I just think this is a really great way to do that.
Taylon, I have some quick fire questions to get to know you. Ready?
Ready.
Dog or cat person?
Dating.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Dog? Mountain or beach?
I'm slowly becoming a cat person though. Like I feel like, can you be both? Because
no. you have to pick.
My boyfriend's allergic to cats, so I choose dog.
No, you can be an animal person. That's fine. Mountain.
Chicken.
Mountain or beach?
Beach.
Beach? Nice.
For sure.
I didn't actually come up with a list, but I was just kind of here. For it. Kat, give me another one.
And this is getting to know her?
Yeah.
What is your zodiac sign?
Oh, what's your zodiac?
Cancer? A Leo.
Oh, interesting.
Leo.
That is interesting.
What year are you born in? The animal, or the
Chinese zodiac?
Ox.
Ox. Wow. Ox and a Leo. Aggressive.
You're just making this up.
Yeah, dude. Why not?
Favorite color.
Oh, that changes. Right now, it's specifically a sage green. That's my favorite color.
Oh, interesting.
Very specific.
Favorite movie.
Like last year, it was yellow. So.
Oh wow, it does change a lot.
Ask me again next year.
Okay, maybe we will. Favorite movie.
Favorite movie. Oh God.
That's not a movie. I don't think.
Can I choose a TV show?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I would say like a Disney movie because I love like animated Disney, but I'm not going to say that. My favorite TV show though currently is Shameless.
Oh.
I love that show. Do you guys watch it?
No, but I've heard a lot about it. One lady in my yoga class said I looked like a guy from it. She said I looked like the young white man. I don't know who that is. She said a name, and I said, okay.
Was it Ian?
That's a great question.
I thought maybe that would
we gotta wrap this up pretty quick. But favorite band?
Favorite band. Oh God, I have favorite artists, but not. I guess my favorite band would be.
Yeah.
I really like the Highwaymen right now.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. It's like a play on the Highwaymen.
Yeah.
But have you guys heard of them? I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. They're cool. They're like a power group. Yeah. But
Nice.
definitely favorite artist is Cam.
Cam. I don't know who Cam is.
She's like a country artist, but she's a modern country artist.
Oh, modern
very
country.
Cool, very progressive, she's cool.
Awesome. Well,
I also, I saw her in concert a couple of times. She's one of I don't know, she's cool. I got on stage with her.
oh wow. That's exciting.
That's my claim to fame, actually.
How does that even happen?
Well, I made a sign, and she has this song called, it's not recorded anywhere, so you could only hear it if you go to one of her concerts. It's called Let Fireball Whiskey Take the Reins.
It's a very country name.
And very country name. It's a really funny song. Anyway, I took the liberty to learn all of the lyrics. I made a sign, and I was like, take a shot of Fireball Whiskey with me. And I didn't think she would really see it because it was like a dark room in San Francisco. Anyway, she saw it and she was like, okay, I'm singing this song in like a couple minutes. So I went and grabbed shots from the bar and I went up to the front and she pulled me on stage and, we sang the song and we did shots of Fireball Whiskey on stage.
That's so awesome.
It was super fun. Yeah, it was definitely
that must be second to being on the Have Aloha Will Travel podcast with Catherine Toth Fox and Kevin Allen.
Say that. Definitely won't top this.
No,
I've peaked.
I mean, this is stardom. Can I just say, I Googled myself on Google, and in images, I'm in the first row now. I beat out the sportscaster guy, Kevin Allen, who covered NFL hockey or something. I don't know. But I'm there now, and it's because of this podcast. So
you're famous.
Taylon, you're famous now, and you're also a part of the team. So glad to have you. I think we're going to wrap up this podcast, this episode, this exciting episode of the Have Aloha Will Travel podcast. Everyone, please like and subscribe. We forgot to say it at the beginning, so hopefully you stuck around to the end. But we need that. We need that. So please like and subscribe. You can find all of our content at hawaiimagazine.com, and you can find all of Taylon's curated content on our social media channels at Hawaiʻi Magazine, pretty much everywhere. You can send us questions at ask. Is that still
Media
at hawaiimagazine.com? Is your husband Kai behind you? Oh,
I know.
He just laughed.
I told them I'm recording, but clearly
it's okay. He wanted a cameo.
Every 10 words.
Yeah. Let's see. Am I missing anything? You can buy some of our products and stuff on Shopify if you need any Hawaii gifts.
No, that's about it.
I think
that's everything. Be nice to Taylon, you guys, on social media.
Yeah, you better be.
Checking it.
We'll block you. Do we have anything coming up, Kat? This goes up on Monday. Next week.
But pretty soon we're going to have results of our 2021 Reader's Choice Awards.
That's right.
Super exciting.
You're slaving over that list right now, Kat.
That's right.
She's got it. So yeah, you can see some of the best hotels, best islands, best restaurants, all kinds of stuff.
Coming soon.
That'll be really fun. All right, Taylon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. And we hope to see you guys in another 2 weeks. Mahalo.
Yep.
There, I said it right this time.
You can go back to work.
Bye.